Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So I thought I'd make a video of how I used to work on the road as a carpenter, and I thought a nice way to do that would be to bring you along on one of my last jobs that I got to complete. So this is actually a National Trust job. I've got to do quite a few of them over the past few years, and you'll be surprised how many people leave their houses to the National Trust and they then have to maintain it. But this was actually in Cliveden Estate, and this was one of the properties on the land where the wardens would actually live. So here you can see me marking out some insulation, which I'm going to cut in a minute, and this insulation is by Kingspan and it's going on the outside of the property. Now the reason it's going on the outside of the property is because there's bats, and the bats have decided to use the inside cavity as a way of crawling up the building to the top of the roof. So obviously bats are protected species, so we can't just get rid of them. In fact, when we took the old cladding off of the building, we had a surveyor there, a bat specialist. Of course, we called him the Batman, and yeah, we found about 5 bats, and we just had to relocate them temporarily into a bat box, which was in the woods, which we had to install. And wherever there was a hole in the brickwork and we could see there was bat droppings, we basically had to leave those open and yeah, make it so that it's easy for them to get into. Once the insulation was on the property, we then had to cover it with it's like a bitumen felt, and the reason why it was a bitumen felt is because the bats can easily climb up. And then after that, we just had to run some battens down it and ready for the cladding. Thank you. Your bed. There we go, thank you. Good boy. It's lovely, isn't it? It's just your average little lay-by, really. But at least it's next to a lake. Ignoring the wire fence, the barbed wire, and the sign about fly tipping. I fucking love this country, I tell you. Train. So that was my park up for the next couple of months, I guess. And I would stay there probably 4 nights of the week. Usually if I was working in a location, I would move around each night. But because it was just a truck of lay-by, I had no problem sleeping there every night. So as you can see, it was very fresh this morning. This job was back in February. My job for the day was to extend the existing windowsills. So because we've added on the insulation, the batting and the cladding, the windowsills weren't deep enough anymore. So all I had to do was just put a slight angle on the top for obviously rainwater to run off, a nice ball nose on the end, and then a little drip detail underneath. We cladded all the way around the building, all the way up to the windowsills, and then I had to make a little template for some LED detailing to go underneath the windows. Now, I've never done this before, so I kind of just made it up as I went along. All I had to go off was what the existing property had before. So as you can see, cutting around with a jigsaw just to make the template, and then I would turn it over and mark it onto the lead work, and then eventually cut it out with some lead snips. And yeah, for someone who's never done it before, I was pretty happy with the end result. Here you can see me making some reveals for the windows, because obviously again we've added on the insulation, we had to make some new ones, and obviously with an old building nothing's ever square or level, so each one had to be scribed in and fixed. So after my last day there, I didn't think I was going to see the job completely finished because it was just left to the paint and decorators and the scaffolding was still up. But I had to make a return visit because the pest control man came out and decided that the insulation that we had used, that rodents would use it for bedding and eat it and destroy it. So I had to close off the bottom of the cladding. But I'm really glad I got to see the end of the job. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm really happy with it. And I think the National Trust are happy with it too. But let me know what you think in the comments, and give a like, subscribe, and another video will be out soon.